Okay, what is cat? Well, cat stands for concatenate, which just means join. So with cat we can join text together. We can cat them. Now, one of the great things about using a terminal is that there are tons of these tiny programs that do one thing really, really well, and you can learn to combine them together to create really powerful things. So let's go over the basics of cat, which just by itself is very useful day to day. So we've got 3 text files, and each of these text files just has one line of text in it, and we've got one text file here which has one line of text, 2 blank lines, and then another line of text. So let's use cat on these files. Let's just cat file 1. So this means we're invoking the cat program, and then we're saying join this thing, and then join this thing to nothing. And cat by default will print this to standard out, so the screen. And there we go, cat has joined this file to nothing, and it's printed it out to the screen to standard out. Now let's give it 2 things to join. So now we're saying cat join this file here to the end of this file. So join these 2 things together. And there we go, it's printed out the first line in file 1 and the first line in file 2 to standard out. Now we can give it the other file as well. So now we're saying join this thing to the end of this thing to the end of this thing to standard out. And there we go, it's printed the line in each of these text files together. Okay, so a few simple options we can give cat as well, a few arguments we can pass it. If we give it the tag n argument for number, cat will join these 3 things together, and it will stick line numbers at the start as well for you. Now if we were to cat file 0 with this argument, there you go, we can see the blank lines there as well have line numbers too. Now if you're printing files with spaces in them, maybe you only want single spaces, you don't want the duplicates, well you can pass the S for squish or squeeze, and that will remove duplicates of line numbers. So there you go, it's removed the second line there. Okay, so that's the basics of cat. That's the stuff you'll use most of the time. But at the moment we're only catting things out to standard out to the screen, which is great, but there's not much we can do with that once it's there. What if we wanted to put that somewhere else so we could access it later? What if we wanted to save it into a file maybe? Well, I'll show you something now which just sort of hints at the power of these tools. So if we cat file 1 to file 2 to file 3, this would obviously throw it to standard out, but instead let's use the redirect operator here. So this symbol, this greater than symbol, just means take standard out and redirect it to this place. So now we need to give it something to put that into. So let's give it file4.txt. So we're catting file 1 to file 2 to file 3, and we're redirecting standard out, so this output here we're redirecting into file4.txt. And now when I list, we see we now have file4.txt. So let's cat file4.txt, and there you go, you see we now have the result of this command here, which has been redirected into file4.txt. And that's pretty much all of cat.